Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley.
And I'm Coach Jay.
Back with another episode of the Film Breakdown series. Jeremiah Telander is the topic today. He's a guy that a lot of you guys absolutely love. You know, sometimes a kid commits and everybody starts with 3-star U. They love to say 3-star U. And then sometimes you guys get behind one of those 3 stars. And Jeremiah Telander is a guy that a lot of people call underrated. I'm excited for this one because, number one, I always love when we got a linebacker because that's Coach Jay's specialty, and I love watching you break down linebackers. But as a group, you know, you got Jalen Smith, you got Arian Carter, who everybody's in love with right now, and then Jeremiah Telander. What do you think as a group of this class of 23 in the linebacker room?
I mean, I'm really high on him. I'm extremely high on him. Everyone knows how high I am on Arian Carter. You know, we keep bringing up that film breakdown. Definitely go watch it. We are, I think, all as Tennessee fans, extremely high on Arian, and I know a lot of you are extremely high on Jeremiah as well, and with good reason, right? He plays with a lot of tenacity, a lot of base level of violence, and he's really just a powerful downhill linebacker. Smith, we'll get to. Don't think I've forgotten him, all you Smith fans. Kid is a beast as well. I watched his film. I'm very high on him also. I think during the live stream, either last week or the week before, I mentioned that, you know, with this speed and talent level that we have coming into our linebacker room, we could end up with some linebackers as good as some of these Alabama, Georgia linebacker classes. And I know some of you in the comments were saying, pump those brakes, Coach Jay, chill out just a little bit, get a little bit of your California West Coast chill on and kick back a little. Let's wait and see. But, you know, what I was speaking to is just more the ability is there, the speed is there, the strength base level is there. Of course, there's many a slip between the cup and the lip, and you got to put it all together. But the opportunity is there. We'll see if they can seize it.
And I'm excited. You talk about speed, athleticism, legitimate dudes. I'm excited to see the player development because it appears to me this coaching staff as a whole knows how to develop players. And look at Aaron Beasley. I mean, he's been developed by Brian Jean-Marie. So I'm excited to see what Brian Jean-Marie can do with these incoming freshmen linebackers. A lot of hype going into the spring. Look, if this is your first time checking out the film breakdown, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. Look, I'm just some dude. I'm not an expert. I'm a talking head. Coach Jay coaches a little ball out on the West Coast. He coaches linebackers specifically. We jump on, we watch highlights, we watch tape, and we break it down for you guys. So right out of the gate, make sure you do smash the thumbs up. If you like what you see here, subscribe, click that bell for notifications. We do all kinds of stuff. We don't just do film breakdown. We do regular live streams, video content, recruiting. We cover it all. My favorite thing, man, post-game shows when the season's rocking and rolling. It's like group therapy after a loss. It's a party and a celebration after a win, so it's always a good time. So welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. We're going to jump into it. We're talking about Jeremiah Telander today. Again, 3-star prospect, 6'2", 217 pounds, out of Gainesville, Georgia, 53rd ranked linebacker in the country. And a lot of people say, 3-star U, 3-star U. Telander chose Tennessee over Louisville, North Carolina, and Florida. I think he had 38 offers. I do believe I read that in the article right before we jumped on here. But look, he got a lot of buzz going into the Georgia 6A state championship game. Had a big-time game to end his high school career. And I don't know if that's where some of the momentum came. He had 13 tackles, 2 sacks, 4 tackles for loss in went out on an L, 35-28, but a good performance for Telander. I think maybe that created some of the buzz or maybe some of the highlights that we're going to take a look at right now. You talked about him playing downhill. Is that how you would summarize his game? Violent?
Extremely violent, extremely instinctive, and extremely aggressive. You know, a lot of times it's like, who hurt you, Jeremiah? Who has hurt you? Because you are meaner than a rattlesnake on the football field, which is exciting, right? Hey man, the defense, linebackers, you want that scary guy playing linebacker for you, right? You want that Alvin Mack playing linebacker for you, who's gonna, terrify the quarterback. I'll tell you what, you're playing quarterback and you watch an inordinate amount of film study. And when you're watching film study and you're watching Mr. Telander just rip people's faces off, you're going to think twice when he's in your face before you step into that pocket and throw the ball. It's going to take a little more moxie to step in that pocket and throw the ball. And we can go ahead and take a look at what we got here, Boogie. Jeremiah typically plays the will. Sometimes he plays a little Leo, so he's going to be lining up on the tight end to the offense's left, to the left of your screen. That is, this is a play where he's got to squeeze. There's going to be a lot of down blocking. Yeah, there you see him lining up. He's going to be playing that that I guess that would be that 7-0 position on the D line. Go ahead and let it run just a second or so, Boogie, second or two. There you go. You saw the tight end take that down step and the inside guard block out to create a seam in the middle of the field. So when you're the will linebacker in this situation, you want to squeeze the play and come down the line of scrimmage. Now, you don't want to completely turn your hips and your shoulders, as we've talked about, but you want to scrape down. Jeremiah just shoots out of a cannon right here. And, his shoulders aren't completely turned. I'd still like to see a little more scrape out of him here. But, man, he just flies out, and the quarterback is doing a poor job of selling any kind of concept that he could be keeping the ball right here. I mean, he's just got one hand out. He doesn't have two hands on the ball. It's extremely obvious that he's handing this ball off. And when Boogie lets this one go in just a second here, you're going to see one of many WWF finishes out of Jeremiah Telander here. He just completely $1 million man's this guy's face into the ground, and it's pretty beautiful. Let's go and take a little peek at what Jeremiah has for him. Just I honestly, guys, like his finishes, I could watch them all day. Just, how does the ground taste? You're dead. I'm gonna go celebrate and watch that in the film room tomorrow and listen to the team ooh and ah over that finish here. Lined up in the will again, 3-3-5. Trips from the offense. Obviously, that inside Y slot receiver is coming across motion on this play. The running back is going to try to cut Jeremiah on this linebacker sprint to the quarterback here. And I'll tell you guys, it's really hard to teach linebackers how to deal with cuts in open space. And it's just really hard to get that concept down for a linebacker. A lot of times linebackers want to sprawl like you do in like you do in wrestling when you get cut. Telander has a different take on what you should do when you get cut. Apparently, he thinks you should just put a red cape on with an S on the back of it and go full Superman and make a play. And you see a lot of that in this film. Watch this Cats film, guys. Watch that championship game. Just some incredible shows of athleticism and straight up willpower and effort out of Telander. Downhill willpower and effort out of him. Let's go ahead and take a look at this, Boogie. Another fun highlight when the running back tries to cut him here. He just he almost doesn't stop for it, which is also against, like I said, when you sprawl, you want to stop, and he just keeps his motion so well. It's so natural to want to stop from falling down, but instead he just falls into it, which is the correct thing to do in this situation. It's just so counterintuitive and smart, and people don't realize that that little second that you're being cut to go around it or to hiccup uh, is the difference between the quarterback getting the playoff and not. It's just good stuff by Jeremiah once again. Moving along, guys. Jeremiah on the outside again here on the bottom of our screen against that wing formation here. On this play, he does a really good job of reading the offensive line. We've talked about reading your guards and tackles a lot as a linebacker. The tackle is going to cut inside again. The guard is going to pull here. Jeremiah reads all this perfectly and just lets the blocking scheme take him to the play. Once again, it's a little thing. It looks almost simplistic, but it can be really difficult for linebackers to understand that at the level that defensive linemen tend to understand. Riding a guard's hip, squeezing down when there's a down block or an inside cut block from a tackle can be difficult to learn. And also, when you do start riding that hip inside, watching that counter cutback, like we saw in the Boo Carter video from the wing blocker on the top side of the screen, can be difficult as well. The finish on this play, guys, it's going to get old quick. It's another really violent, mean finish, and he's going to make you pay every time he gets his hands on you. Let's take a look at this decimation of this player here. Now you got to watch that cowboy collar there on the old power bomb, or I don't know. Boogie knows these wrestling moves a little better than me. But he gets around in just a violent turn. Whoever's been watching the spring games lately, you have that drill that they run on the donut pad, where it's a hit and twist turn. That's that drill in live motion, guys. So you just watch that cowboy collar and stay violent. And I'm surprised he didn't get the ball out also on that play. When you get a violent twist in there, that ball can fly out as well. And then all of a sudden, you got a D lineman or another linebacker picking it up and taking it to the end zone. And if your defense is scoring and creating negative loss plays with an offense like we have, it's going to be special and it's going to get out of hand quickly.
As a linebacker coach, when you got a guy like this, with a guy like Jeremiah Telander showing that aggression, how hard is it to balance like a Jeremy Banks type of guy, right? And I thought Jeremy Banks did a good job on the field. I don't know about off the field. On the field, controlling his aggression this past season, whereas previously it was almost a joke. It was like, yeah, Jeremy Banks is going to make some plays, but he's also good for a 15-yarder every game. How do you continue? You want that violence. That's what we want in a linebacker. Put the fear of God in you. But how do you balance that as a coach when you're working with these kids?
You got to get them to play under control and to understand the mental reads and keys in the game, and allow those keys to show you how to shoot out of the gun and to attack the play. Jeremiah and a lot of high school linebackers, for that matter, and a lot of high school players are really violent and they just attack the ball, right? They see the ball full, ears pinned back, violence. Well, you can be violent, but don't just be violent because of what you are perceiving to happen. Be violent because your keys are correct, your film study is correct, your tendencies are good, and then it's controlled violence, right? We don't want wild, out of control Tasmanian devils just spinning up a tornado. We want controlled, succinct violence out of our linebackers. Otherwise, you're going to get burnt. We're going to talk about it in a minute, but you play too downhill. You play too aggressive downhill. Good offensive coordinators are certainly going to make you pay for it. And it just can't happen. You have to be controlled. If you can't play controlled, you can't play football in the Southeastern Conference. It's that simple. It really is that simple. You have to be controlled or you get beat.
We're going to take a look at a few more plays here from Jeremiah Telander, 3-star linebacker out of Georgia. You guys hear us reference other videos and other breakdowns. Go check out the playlist. There's a
Mm-hmm.
ton of them in there at this point. We're building up a pretty good catalog for Coach Jay to say, hey, go listen to me break down some film. But also let us know in the comments who you want us to break down next. We're going to be doing Ricky Gibson versus Jordan Matthews versus Christian Conyer
Mm-hmm.
coming up live on May the 3rd. Make sure you tune in for that. But also hit the comments. We try to do these. We try to get together, get a few of them in the tank, and then post them every Sunday morning if possible. So be looking for those. Sometimes if we do a live stream, we may not do one that Sunday. But be
Mm-hmm.
looking for those. Hit the comment section. Let us know what you want to see. And as always, make sure you guys do smash the thumbs up because that helps the channel. We got a couple more plays to take a look at. Coach Jay, we got 218 play
Yep.
in progress.
218 play in progress. You got it. I'm, it picks up a little late into this play, so it's kind of hard to tell what exactly was happening at the beginning. But I think it's kind of that base 3-3-5, and I think Jeremiah was actually going to blitz a gap on this play, and he kind of notices that he probably has a secondary job when they drop into zone of a quarterback spy in this situation. I think he's on a run blitz, I guess is what that's Chinese for, a gap, monster run blitz. And a lot of people don't realize in the elite high school level and the high college level, uh, you might be on a run blitz, but you'll have a secondary check down on a pass play, right? So right here, I believe he was on an A gap, monster run blitz, and he's, instead of taking that awesome bounce step that Arian Carter takes when he notices it's a pass play, when he reads it for the O line, he's taking a hard down step like it's a run play or like it's a blitz. It's kind of why I said it was either one. But he's realized it's a mistake at this point. He realized he's a little bit too deep into the wash, and his responsibility is spy on this play. And you can go ahead and maybe run it just a second or two, but you go and stop there. Drops into the spy. He's watching the quarterback. Maybe run it another second or two as he starts to flow with the quarterback. And as the quarterback turns his hip, he starts to flow and look around Jeremiah Telander right here. There's no running back out of the backfield. There's no wide receiver coming back inside. There's no slant. There's no cross. There's no flat. He has zero responsibility. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4 offensive linemen in front of him. And a lot of time, linebackers, when they're in spy, can be indecisive. And you saw it in the Ole Miss game quite a bit 2 seasons ago, where we might have had a linebacker in spy, but you know what? He sat back too long. He played catch too long. And by the time the quarterback committed, he was indecisive, didn't make a decision, didn't break on the play. And therefore, he let the kid come to him. Kid made a play, maybe made a miss, and all of a sudden they had a first down. Turnlander does a good job of knowing what's around him here, knowing what his responsibility is, spy and middle of the field, middle zone spy, sees that that's not happening, see that the quarterback's moving the pocket. So he makes a decision and comes hard. And that's what you want out of a linebacker in this situation. Another, another absolute assassination out of Jeremiah Telander, and that quarterback is going to be in a little bit of pain when he's watching his film come Saturday morning after Friday Night Lights. Certainly, just awesome stuff here. Once again, Jeremiah in the will linebacker spot here. We have stacked wide receivers to the top side of our screen. A little bit of an offset pistol. I think I've said before, sometimes we call that a Glock or 9mm pistol when it's a little offset like that. You know, he's going to want to stick with moving into that kind of like pocket and watch that slant in pass responsibility. Go ahead and let it run, Boogie, just for a second and see what he kind of does. Stop. Yeah, there you go. So what's happened is the offensive line is moving their pass pro to move the pocket for the quarterback, right? And we're talking about being aggressive as a linebacker. And, one of the ways you can work against a defense is by moving the pocket, right? When you've got an aggressive downhill AB gap blitz defense, like Jeremiah plays on. So you can move the pocket. You can down block. You can cut a blitzing linebacker up the center like they've done here, and kind of move that zone blocking pass protection to the outside. The quarterback's also going to try to help himself right here and sprint behind that pistol running back for extra pass protection outside of the pocket. Maybe let it run just a tick or two more, Boogie. There we go. Um, Jeremiah in the frame before too, you'll have to forgive me, I didn't point it out, but you'll see it on the replay. He did a good job of knowing that the inside seam was covered by the number 34 there, and that the out route to the tight end is covered as well. So when he realized where his help was, guys, being smart and intelligent and knowing where your help is, where your coverage is on the football field allows you to make informed, smart decisions when we're talking about when to be violent, when to be aggressive. Well, right now, you don't need to be in coverage. Your guys got you, your teammates got your back. Let's go be aggressive. His only problem is the quarterback did a great job of putting a blocker in front of him and moving the pocket. So, Jeremiah's got an issue there. I don't think he sees it as much of an issue as I do right now. And we're going to find out why, because I think Jeremiah is going to decide that running back don't mean a hell of beans standing in front of him.
Yeah, I'm just going to guess because you always watch these and do the homework.
Yeah.
I don't know what's coming. I'm going to assume that he just carries the running back into the quarterback and takes them both out to dinner is what I'm going to assume happens here. We'll see what happens. We ready to let it roll?
Let's roll.
I swear to you guys, I've said it before. I do not watch these. Coach Jay does all the homework, all the preparation. I get on here and just drive. And I knew, man, because he is so aggressive and so physical and so violent. I think that's why people love him, because of his violence.
The face slam of the quarterback into the dirt after the hit too. Sometimes you got to watch that, right? In modern football, getting back to your Jeremy Banks being a little too violent sometimes. Man, guys, that I wouldn't want to be a running back trying to block against Jeremiah when he's on the move like that. Dangerous guy. Okay, we're going to take a look at the last one. And for you, astute breaking down the film with Coach Jay watchers, you will notice, we've seen some pass plays, but on most of these pass plays, Jeremiah's either been in spy or had good help coverage. And hey, Coach, we haven't seen him drop back into coverage much yet. How does he look at that? Why is he only a 3-star? This kid looks like he's all world. He looks like he's out here just absolutely killing people. What's the rub here? And I think we're going to get onto it a little about what he needs to work on here. We see the safety stacked over the will right here, and they're going to get in bad spacing between them. We have twins to the bottom side of our screen. That wide receiver, the tight end that's in wing formation, probably going to be a little bit tighter behind that tackle. And this play might have even worked a little bit better, to be completely honest with you. But you see that Jeremiah's got 2 linebackers to his inside here. So he doesn't really have to worry about that short side of the field at the top of your screen. He's just really got to worry about the wide side of the field. Boogie, if you could just play his very first step that he takes and pause it, right? See this read step right here? The offensive line is very obviously in pass protection here, and he's taken that down read step because he's aggressive, because he plays downhill. This is where we want that bounce step that we were talking about with Arian Carter, where you don't take a step in the wrong direction, but you just reset your feet in place with a little bit of a bounce step. And it allows you to take a secondary read of the field without ruining that um, kinetic energy that you kind of have moving through your body as a play gets started. You can go ahead and let it run just like a tick, tick more, and let's see what we got. There we go. And you see the spacing right here between the safety and Terlander. And the safety on that's further towards the play, the one away, has to honor that deep route, right? And so you see the problem that's going to start arising. If number 9 follows the wide receiver, then that out pattern is going to be wide open. And it's right about in this moment of time that Jeremiah has realized I'm really out of position right now, right? Look at all the space between Terlander and that inside receiver here. That's a lot of space to cover. He's begun to turn his hips completely. He's turned his shoulder. He just needs to be more outside right now, and a bad read step can do that to you. He needs to fix it. He needs to clean it up and get quicker to get to his flat assignments when he's got them. It's a mixed bag when you watch all of his films at a whole in pass coverage. I don't want to say he can't do pass coverage. He certainly can, and there's times where he excels at it. But then there's times where he certainly needs to work at it. So we'll see how quickly Coach Marie can get him up to speed on that. Let's go ahead and take a look at it throughout. I mean, he's got his makeup speed. He kind of sputters up here like he's walling off into his zone. And once again, he just needs to realize the guy's out there. The ball was out of his hands. There's no reason to stop. Get out there, man. Get out there, get in that flat, and cover that play. Just needs to be quicker. Just needs to be quicker. In another world, he'd have Coach Patterson on that sideline yelling at him for sure.
Well, that's the film breakdown for Jeremiah Telander. Again, 3-star prospect. I want you guys to hit the comment section and let me know why the overall theme when we talk about this kid is that he's underrated. What do you see on the highlights? Is it the aggressiveness? Is it the highlights, right? It's highlight type material. I think that's what excites a lot of people. But I want to hear from you guys. As always, let us know who you want us to break down next. Coach Jay, it's always a blast. Appreciate you coming on, buddy. That's going to do it for this one. Smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Check out the merchandise. The link is in the description below. For Coach Jay, my name is Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin' VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.